There's been ongoing protests with JK, and people are asking him to be let go of BTS. There's also people talking about his couples tattoo with Winter and what that rumor is, as well as SM now stepping in to take legal action. Say Dumplings, is Dave Disci. Let's get into it. So we all know what's going on with JK and Winter right now, and we'll get into some of the new updates and what those new rumors are and or what people are saying in general. But I wanted to start off talking about what the label is doing right now. SM recently released a statement addressing all of the controversy that is going on. They don't mention any names in this statement, and this was posted on the official aespa X account, which tells me obviously that this statement was for them. The statement mentioned that the label is very much aware of the horrible things that are being said online, the things that are being said to attack the artist, as well as very malicious posts that are targeting specific members of their label. People had very mixed reactions to the statement because it of course doesn't address any specific member by name, and it literally doesn't clarify whether or not Winter is dating JK. But she's also in a dating room with someone else, and so people were also wondering why this statement doesn't clarify either of those things. The bottom line is the statement doesn't have to clarify any of those things for it to be true that she's not dating anyone right now. And it's no shock that she's getting a lot of hate because she's obviously being put into two different dating rumors. A statement simply is just to address something, and a label could not want to address a dating rumor for several different reasons. Just in a theory. One of them, of course, could be to just try to normalize it, and as it should be normal. We as the community should not be overstepping to the point where we're sending death threats over something that we don't even know to be true yet. The second reason is they don't know. They themselves don't know because the artist doesn't really know, and what is the company going to say if they don't know? But I don't think that's the case here. I think what's genuinely going on here is that Winter, JK, or whoever Winter is shipped with, they're not actually together. I think that she is just focusing on her career. But hopefully in the future, being shipped or being believed to be dating someone is not seen as a big deal. And I'm so sick and tired of people forcing companies to say or do something, because a company does not have to give you this even. This is a courtesy that they're doing, and we should be appreciative that they're even saying anything, because again, they don't have to do anything. And quite frankly, giving a statement about them taking legal action could potentially hurt their legal action. I don't know if it does or not, but in some cases it can. Some people are saying that they are only addressing something because allegedly their stock has dropped about 6%. I said this before and I'll say this again. The only way for legal action to happen is if there's physical damage, like someone got hurt or there's monetary damage. Obviously in this case, I assume Winter is okay. She's not physically hurt. And you can't take legal action or get anyone arrested until after you've been hurt. Because if it's just threats of being hurt, they typically, not even police officers, will really do much. But from the monetary side, obviously they can look at some of the content that's being posted online and say, is this content made with malice? Is it made with people who are so angry and hate Winter so much that they're doing this for the sake of her getting hate? They want her to feel bad. Like, was that the point of why they started this dating rumor? Or did they actually believe that the two were dating? Or did they just want to come up with something because they wanted her to get hate? So those are people that the label would be looking to take legal action on. I've seen a lot of people talk about commentary within news pages with this, and unless you're a page that actively comes out to say that they don't like her or they don't like specific K-pop idols, yet keep making videos about them, then I don't think this whole legal action is about any of those pages. One of those pillars is malice. There has to be an intent to take down. Where obviously, like for example, this video is not really intended to take down, nor is it really saying that I hate any of them, because I don't. I'm here to quell rumors. I'm here to stop people from sending hate. This is quite the opposite of what they would have to deem as defamatory. There's a genuine concern about JK and potentially his mental health. Recently, there's been some protests that have been spotted outside of the label, and the protest trucks say things varying from him needing to remove his couples tattoo, and I put couples tattoo in quotes, with Winter, to some saying that he needs to leave BTS because he's making them look bad, or that he believes that armies are fools. There's like an actual truck that's saying that he thinks the community is a bunch of idiots. I don't know how any of this makes any sense. I can understand the outrage if you believe that JK is dating Winter and like you want their tattoo to be gone. Like, okay, sure. Like, I know the series of events that led up to that process. I'm not saying it's right. It's absolutely still insane, but I know how they got there mentally. But how are they getting to the point where they're saying that JK thinks the community is stupid? Where did that come from, genuinely? Like, if he was actually dating someone, this would mean that he thinks the community is stupid? Does this come from the fact that people have been insulting Winter or the rest of the aespa girls this entire time, and now that he's allegedly betrayed them because he's dating them, this must mean that he thinks they're all stupid? But also at the same time, if you're writing stuff like this and then saying and thinking this, then you're probably stupid, so what's the issue? Now, there are some people who have gone ahead and looked into the account that have allegedly pushed for this protest truck to be in front of the label. And they believe that the trucks were funded and started by people who were haters of JK or haters of BTS. There's a lot of possibilities that that is true, right? Because you have to have haters who are unhealthily obsessed with aespa, and they have to want to protect those girls as much as possible that they could be doing this. You have to have people that are in the community who are absolutely disappointed in JK and are not fans of him anymore. So obviously there's a big chance here for haters, because there can be haters coming from any direction. But some people definitely believe that it's people cosplaying as fans and trying to act concerned, when in reality they just want JK gone because they just don't like him, and they're using this as a way to do that. I can definitely see that as being a possibility. I can see this being someone who is like maybe a JK anti, and they're hoping that this discourages him or riles up the community more to where JK actually leaves the group, or that he feels like the label feels like JK is hated enough to the point where he would get booted out of the group anyway. I want to say the most these statements ever do is make the label make a statement, but usually no. And I don't really understand why these trucks are still in business. Part of me is like, it's because this might be their main business. So if they take this away, they might lose all of their revenue or most of it, allegedly. But these are expensive. I mean, oh my God, these trucks are so expensive. These people like to put these trucks in front of the labels for several days, weeks, or months. And sometimes it's multiple trucks, which can range anywhere from $200 to $300 per day per truck. So if they even just did a few trucks for a few weeks, we're talking thousands of dollars here. And you might say, well, you just need a few people to donate to this, and then you can get to that number. But it's quite genuinely a lot of money still to give towards a cause, and give towards a cause that doesn't really matter, because it's not going to do anything. And I don't mean towards K-pop, I just mean in general and in life. I mean, every time it happens, it does get news coverage, so perhaps that's what they're looking to do. But overall, this is very upsetting that people are choosing to waste their hard-earned money in a time where eggs are so expensive to do things like this. I mean, $200 to $300 per day. Do you know how many people that could feed if you give that money to a homeless shelter? And then if you're a fan who is just like really upset at this situation, I guess, if you feel like you can't put out your frustration anyway, maybe you want to put your money into this, I don't know. But for a hater, I think that's kind of crazy. You would spend hundreds of dollars per day per truck just to taunt someone you don't like. That is genuinely some mental health issue thing right there. Now, of course, we also have to talk about this alleged couples tattoo that JK is believed to have. These are 3 puppies that JK is believed to have in his arm. It's believed that Winter has it in a similar place. In a recent video, when I talked about this, I got it wrong, and I said it was a temporary tattoo. I believe it not to be so, so I definitely wanted to correct that. I thought it was a temporary tattoo, but apparently there was a lot of other stuff that proved it wasn't. Now, the tattoo artist did come out and allegedly address the situation, sort of. He posted the tattoo and talked about how it was a popular trend that was happening around the time, and so many people got this tattoo. Aside from it being a trend, it also generally fit into the theme of what JK has going on, which is words and animals, and those are the things he likes to have in his arms. People were saying things like he's been trying to cover it up and that sort of stuff, but in general, he might just be trying to cover up his tattoos. Since a lot of people forget, and it has been many, many years, tattoos are typically not allowed on Korean broadcasts. They cannot be aired, and they need to be covered up with clothes, or it needs to be covered up with makeup. Oftentimes, they will use a band-aid to cover it up on stage if it's small enough, and that sort of stuff. So as we are seeing now that he's doing his show that he has with Jimin, we're seeing that his arm is covered up or whatever it could be, because they still would like to show the show maybe in Korea. And of course, if you want to air your show in certain parts of the world, you have to follow the rules that that place might have, which is that tattoos are not allowed on a broadcast. Where are all the other people who might allegedly have the same similar dog tattoo getting attached to JK or being believed to be dating JK? We don't see it. So I think that that's definitely interesting and convenient. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you check out Patreon. I'll leave a link at the top of the description. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.